Coming up on CPTV, Ben Land asks you to take the U.S. Citizenship test. The Spanish Club participates in the Pulsera project. We bring you CP softball highlights from last week's DAC duel, and we're giving away more concert tickets for this summer. CPTV is up next.
Last Friday, the CP football team got another good morning. This weekend, CPTV.
Welcome to CPTV.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Robinson.
And I'm Andrew Mild.
Welcome to CPTV. Savannah Everston will have your 5-day weather forecast, and Ramsey Harkness will bring us CP Sports highlights.
Here's what's happening at Crown Point High School.
The Spanish Club will take part in the Pulsera project. The project sells colorful thread bracelets to benefit those in need in Nicaragua. Bracelets will be on sale for $5 each, and proceeds will go towards the secondary schooling and scholarships for young adults in Nicaragua.
Spanish Club is going to be starting the Pulsera project, which Pulsera meaning bracelet in Spanish. It is a project where we sell $5 bracelets, and there's just these beautiful thread colored bracelets. We are starting the sale April 23rd. This project is a completely nonprofit project, and all the money goes back to the artists and the actual project that is doing this. And this project uses the money towards education, such as secondary education, as well as it helps provide scholarships for college.
The bracelets will be available during all lunches. The Crown Point Gamma Theta chapter of Tri Kappa will be sponsoring their annual art show in conjunction with the National Art Honor Society Senior Awards Night on Wednesday, April 25th at 6 p.m. Every year, Tri Kappa presents several awards in different mediums, in addition to a senior scholarship. Senior art students have until this Friday to submit an entry, and the exhibit will run in the Learning Commons from April 23rd until May 1st. On May 4th, the Stray Dogs Improv Club will have a show in the auditorium from 7 to 9 p.m. Admission is $5, and proceeds will go towards the continuance of the Youth Improv Initiative.
Stray Dogs Improv Club is all about using laughter for service to our community. We've been helping charities for over 10 years now, and we've been doing is developing a spirit of community
cooperation. Cooperation is an essential part of improvisation. When we cooperate, we build character together.
Improv is a mortar that helps to build ourselves. This gives us the
power of choice. Just like life, you want to make a choice that is 100%. You want to make a choice that is strong, and you want to make a choice that is
full. Always have the commitment. Never, ever
give up, honey. Through the power of participation, we can make everyone feel included. And when everyone feels included, they're free to invent a whole new world. Improv allows you to be anything you want to be, and you can feel any emotion you want to feel.
From anger to sadness to utter jubilation, improv lets you bring something old and something new to the table.
It lets you come together as a community to laugh. It lets you build a tradition that's gone on for 10 years and is going strong. So come out and join us with the Stray Dogs May 4th at the Crown Point High School Auditorium from 7 to 9 p.m. $5 donation at the door goes to help the process of continuing with the Youth Improv Initiative. Thank you.
As mentioned last week, the CPHS Latin Club was recently named state champion at the 65th Annual Indiana Junior Classical League Convention at Indiana University. CPTV's Enrique Jimenez visited with Latin Club President Dugan Daly and asked him what it's like to be part of the Latin Club.
So tell me, what is your aid host for doing Latin?
My ad hoc for taking Latin was to expand my vocabulary through different Latin roots and bases. My motivation for taking Latin right now is probably to pursue a medical-based career, and using Latin that would help me with that, but also to not make Mr. Walker angry.
It's nice to hear that young people are learning a dead language, you know?
Yeah.
So overall, what's your best experience in Latin Club?
My favorite and best experience is probably making friends with other Latin students, because it's really more of a family than a club.
That's very heartwarming to hear. I feel like we're on the same kind of playing field because, you're a Latin teacher and I'm Latino, so it kind of like we're kind of spiritually connected in some sorts of ways,
We're like two peas in a pod.
So can you tell me what personally got you interested in studying Latin?
So I started Latin as a sophomore in high school because I didn't have anybody like our great counselors to tell us, hey, you should be doing the language as a freshman and you should be doing 4 years. In fact, my high school didn't even have 4 years of Latin at the time. They only did 2 years.
So could you tell me why somebody would choose to study Latin over something like Spanish in high school?
So you get all sorts of people who decide they want to take Latin. Some of them are afraid of speaking the modern languages, like I might have been. So they come to Latin because like there's nobody running around trying to order bread or groceries in Latin these days.
Yeah.
That's the official reason they call it a dead language.
So we're in the midst of National Classics Week. Can you give me a whole rundown of what National Classics Week is?
So National Classics Week is a week set aside by our national organization, the National Junior Classical League. It's the National Latin Club. They set this week aside every year to coincide with Rome's birthday on April 21st to celebrate the study of Greek and Latin and their cultures and all the things that they've given to the modern world.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Thank you.
When someone wants to become a U.S. citizen, they're required to take the U.S. Citizenship test, a test which asks questions covering not only the laws of America, but its history as well. Can CPHS students pass the test? CPTV's Ben Lamb made his civic duty to find out.
What is the name of the current Vice President of the United States?
Steve Rogers.
Wrong.
That is
Joe Biden.
Nicholas Pence.
Mike Pence.
Mike Pence.
Can you tell me what an amendment is?
I don't know, like a rule. Wait, no.
Come on, try getting it out.
A type of law.
You're given rights.
How many amendments does the Constitution have?
42.
40.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
17. Isn't there like 20?
The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these words?
We the people.
Keep it lit.
How many U.S. senators are there?
50?
7.
At least 12. 50.
Who's the current governor of Indiana?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Pat Savlowski.
CPHS students were thrown for a bit of a curve last Wednesday when everyone's passwords got changed and led us to ask the question, exactly how secure is our online information at CPHS?
I had to get my password changed again so I could get into my Buzz account. So that kind of was stupid.
So it was pretty immediate. It affected me because now I have to type the new password, which all capital letters and all random.
The password changing didn't affect me because I memorized it by the next day.
With strapped state budgets and alluring promises of significant reductions in overhead and transportation costs, the 4-day school week has been an increasingly attractive option for legislators seeking to cut education costs. Think Crown Point should adopt a 4-day week school policy? Here's Ashley Reed with this week's edition of Let's Be Honest.
Let's be honest, going to school 5 days a week can be rough. We rarely have enough time to hang out with friends or do other activities outside of school. According to an article from USA Today, a Denver, Colorado school corporation switched from going 5 days a week to 4 days a week because they found it would be more beneficial to their students. Would it be beneficial to us?
I honestly think it's stupid that when they have to have 4 days of school because everyone's used to the 5 days and the 2 days weekends. Sometimes we have days off, but people would not like it because there'll be one extra day to make up, like farther after when school normally ends. Like on May 30th when school ends, all the 1 days that we didn't have, we're gonna have to make after because we still have the over same amount of days we're gonna have to usually have during school year, so we wouldn't have much of a summer.
We should have 4-day school weeks because then more students could have more time to actually do their homework and study for more tests. And also, kids won't be stressed out about waking up and not being late to school for first period.
I think that if you have 4-day school weeks instead of the 5-day school weeks that we're used to, and then pair it with more work outside of school, more homework that the student can work on independently, it would allow to help alleviate stress. It would make it a lot easier for the student, and it means that they have more time to work their job to help support their families or save up more money for college, which can help with stress too if you know you have more money, if you have more time when you're not stuck in the building, which can sometimes get really boring and really stale.
For CPTV, I'm Ashley Reed.
What can we possibly say about the weather? Last week we had some days with temps in the 70s. On Monday it was snowing. In the middle of April. Here with your 5-day weather forecast is CPTV's Savannah Everson.
This past week's mixture of rain, snow, then sun has many wondering if we've moved on to spring or if we're still stuck in the winter blues. Let's take a look at what you can expect for the rest of the day. By noon, the temp will hover around 50 with partly cloudy skies. By 3 p.m., the temp will be 53 degrees with a slight chance of rain. And at 6 o'clock, the temp will drop to a low of 45 degrees with a mix of rain and snow. For your 5-day forecast, tomorrow there will be a small chance of rain and temps will slightly decrease to a cool 48. By Friday, temps will begin to faintly rise and it will be mostly sunny with partly cloudy skies by evening. Looking into your prom weekend, the temps will start to rise into the mid and high 50s, along with some rain and partly sunny skies. Coming back to school on Monday, you can expect the temps to stay near 60 degrees with a low of 41. The temps ahead of us this weekend will be a mostly sunny 2-day spell that will suffice for near picture-perfect prom weather. That's your 5-day forecast. Have a great week.
The weather has been so bad the softball team elected to play their games indoors. Meanwhile, the tennis team took advantage of one of the only good days of weather and went head-to-head with Marquette Catholic High in their 3rd match of the season. Here's Ramsey Harkness with CP Sports Highlights.
Last Thursday, the girls' tennis team hosted their 3rd match of the season at home against Marquette Catholic High School. Carly Sobchak claimed the first victory for CP with a score of 6-0, 6-2. The 1 and 2 double teams of Caroline Serabieski and Emily Campbell and Carol Johnson and Adriana Skrteska got the next 2 wins to clinch the victory over Marquette Catholic with a final score of 3-2. The softball team was at home last Thursday against DAC rival Chesterton. It was a pitcher's duel early until CP sophomore catcher Zoe Reddick had a 2 RBI single and senior Hannah Grady had her own RBI single, driving in Zoe Reddick. Chesterton made things interesting in the 5th after a 2 RBI triple with just 1 out. Freshman Maddie Ellish buckled down afterwards and got 2 flyouts to keep the tying run from scoring. The Trojans had a chance to tie the game in the 7th with the tying run on 3rd and the go-ahead on 2nd with 2 outs, but couldn't get the job done, falling 3-2 to the Dogs. It should also be noted that the softball team played what is believed to be the first ever indoor softball game in IHSAA history. CP faced Lafayette Harrison inside Crown Point Sparta Dome on Saturday, in which CP split the doubleheader with Lafayette, winning the first game 9-4 and falling in the second game 1-0. Last Thursday, the baseball team traveled to DAC rival Chesterton. The Dogs started to get their bats rolling, bringing in 3 runs in the 3rd. Senior Jake DeFries led the charge, going 3 for 4 at the plate while crossing the plate 3 times. Senior Ryan Bola started the game for the Dogs, going 5 2/3 innings, allowing 5 hits and 3 earned runs while striking out 11. After a back-and-forth affair, the Dogs ultimately took the game 8-7. CP takes their 5-3 record to Michigan City tonight, with the first pitch coming at 4:30. And that's it for sports.
Taylor Swift is coming to Chicago, and CPTV is giving away 2 free tickets to the Reputation Tour concert on June 1st at Soldier Field with special guests Camila Cabello and Charlie XCX.
Are you ready for it? Baby, let those games begin. Let those games begin. Let those games begin now. Baby, let those games begin. Let those games begin. Are you ready for it?
To enter, follow us on Twitter at CPTV Media or Instagram at CPTV News. And tag us in a 10-second video of you and your friends singing along to a Taylor Swift song of your choice. You can also send us a video on Snapchat at CPTV News. Winners will be chosen randomly and participants must be currently enrolled at CPHS. The winning submission will be announced during our show on May 9th.
The submission deadline closes this Saturday at 11:59 p.m. You can expect more of these giveaways as CPT Media launches its radio station, The Dog Radio.
That's all for today. Thanks for watching.
If you're in a club, on a team, or participating in some type of extracurricular activity and would like us to promote your event, DM us on Twitter at CPTV Media.
Remember, you can view all our past episodes on CPTVmedia.com.
You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat at CPTV News and on Twitter at CPTV Media.
For Savannah Everson, Ramsey Harkness, and all of us here at CPTV, I'm Kirsten Robinson.
I am Andrew Miles.
We'll see you next time.
Take care.